Meta is dropping a huge update with V67. They're letting you control all of your windows in all of the locations. It's an experimental setting, so check your Quest right now. Go into the experimental settings, see if you have multi-monitor support. It'll allow you to have up to 6 windows anywhere in space. Also, this week, Apple is taking control.
Oh, cool.
They're getting some 6 DoF trackers. They're kind of like the Meta Quest ones, but they look shiny, kind of like a Magic Mouse. Do you want a Magic Mouse for controllers?
Well, I guess, yeah.
What's the least convenient place you could put a charging port on a...
Yeah, it'd be like on the lenses.
In questionable news, Meta Horizon Store is allowing App Lab apps into the store, and they're naming them...
Early access.
Yeah.
I was right. It was me. I called this.
Yeah, you said this last week, or a few weeks ago. They're going to call it Early Access, and we're never going to get real games ever again.
Exactly.
All right, let's get into it.
It's not a comedy podcast.
Oh, it is.
Is it?
Well, I try to be funny.
I'm not laughing.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to GamesVReality, the place where you get VR news, but not facts.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not facts. No.
I am at Victor Grey, and with me, as usual, except for that one time, is...
I am at Lord Bidsteak.
Correct. Yeah, you did that correctly.
I did, thank you.
We are currently... You can't see it on camera, but we are in a bomb site right now.
We are. A very expensive bomb site.
Yeah, we're slowly moving to set this up so we can stream.
Mm-hmm. Don't trip on any of the multiple headsets that are just lying around.
Yeah, there's a lot of headsets. I got a Quest 3 here. There's 2 Vives and a Quest 2. There's a lot going on.
If you'd like to see how many things are in this room, subscribe to us. And if we get more than what? How many do we want? Like 10, 15?
I know, we're at 205. Our record for one video is 18 new subscribers, which in hindsight isn't very big, but I'm proud of that.
Let's get 220 by the end of the week, and if that is the case, we will upload a video of what this room looks like.
No, we're not going to do that.
We're definitely going to do that.
When we get to 100,000 subscribers, I'll show you what this room looks like. Oh, I saw a Reddit post where there is an app for an Apple app that allows you to stream 2D movies onto your headset and play them in 3D. It converts them to 3D in real time.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Also, Mark Zuckerberg announced that he's really close to showing off his holographic AR glasses. Do you want to talk about that?
No.
Also in the show, we're going to have a comment time, our first comment time.
Oh, great. Excellent. Like a Q&A kind of a thing.
Exactly. We're going to talk about cloud gaming in VR. We had a few comments about that. Also, your review of Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Also, we're talking about what we're doing in VR. I've been playing some Demeo, but in really weird circumstances, and you've been doing some developing in Unreal.
I have. I've been on the other side of the fence for once.
Wow. What's it like over there?
Buggy.
If you want to jump to any of the stories we're covering today, just look in the description because I put all the time codes and links to the articles I get the stories from in there, so check it out.
If not, just pretend like you watched the whole video and comment saying that it's great, and then subscribe.
Yeah, and put a time code in the comment.
Yeah, totally. So we don't have to do it. You know what? Let's do that. Delegate.
Yeah.
That's great. I like it.
Cool. Do you remember the first story?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I told you.
I know. You tell me every week. I just don't remember.
Okay. V67 is bringing that multi-monitor fancy new thing that they have
Spatial
to everybody.
computing is coming to the world.
Yeah, that's how I pitched it last week. So, for everybody that isn't aware of this, so in the experimental settings for V67, which is the next update for the Quest platform, or the Horizon platform.
Oh yeah, everyone's favorite.
If you go into experimental settings, it will have a little tick and you can add this multi-monitor support. So you have your regular dock. It's a little bit different. It's smaller and flatter, but you have your 3 windows there. But you can take a window and just drag it out and put it anywhere in space, and it will pretty much it'll stay there.
As long as you don't reset your play space, right?
Yeah, so I found if I closed the dock and then opened the dock, wherever my head is, the dock would appear and everything else would spin around relative to the dock, which is kind of annoying.
And this is coming to the Quest 2 as well, yeah?
Yeah, it's V67. So the cool thing about Meta is when they release an update, it's for both.
Nice.
So at the moment, it'll be on the Quest 2. You have a Quest 2, I have a Quest 3. Obviously, pass-through is great for having windows around the place, but the Quest 2, it would be sick as well, right?
Yeah, that would be very helpful for me.
The only thing I want to add now is the ability to have a window in a game.
Like just hanging out in the
so
space?
imagine I put a window up there. I'm doing a walkthrough of a game because I can't get past the bar. I just put it up there.
Yeah.
And then
I
can look up.
You know what? I do a similar thing using Steam VR where you can actually put a window, like a desktop window anywhere, and I'll often put like a podcast like way further down in my vision. So like it's out of my periphery when I'm looking forward. And then if I want to I don't know, they'll be like, hey, look at this drink that I had or whatever, and they'll show it, look at this product that I had or whatever. I can look down and see the product.
That's right, and we're looking for a sponsor. So if you'd like to sponsor this podcast, please reach out to us.
Please.
But if you don't want to sponsor us, at least subscribe.
Yeah, that's really helpful.
If you haven't already, reboot your Quest, see if you can get V67 and check your experimental settings. All right, it's the story I know you want to talk about, and that is the Meta Horizon store is calling App Lab, can you say it?
App Lab apps.
Thank you. They're calling them early access games now. You called this, what, 2 weeks ago?
I did. I said, wait, so the App Lab is kind of like early access, right? You go, no, it's completely different.
Completely different.
Meta announces that it's going to be changed to early access, because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, so calling it early access kind of like allows a developer to just release a half-finished product, and they're like, well, but it's early access.
That's right.
Whereas when it was App Lab, I kind of felt like you were still purchasing a real product, right?
In theory, you're purchasing a real product when you buy a game on early access on Steam.
Yeah, but they can claim, oh, well, it's buggy because it's not finished yet. It's early access. It's not a real game,
Sure,
right?
sure.
Whereas I think ideally, if we're going to the Horizon store, wouldn't it be great if they were finished?
I suppose, but this puts money up front in the hands of developers that otherwise would not have access to that. And we've seen that do wonders for early VR games on PCVR. I don't see why that can't be migrated over to Meta's OG platform.
Yeah, that's probably a good point. So the two... did you not... I'm checking my phone. And
Let's have a look.
It's on silent.
No.
Yeah.
Look at this.
No,
Look at this. Zoom in on that.
Mine's... you go.
Beep.
Yeah, mine's on silent too. So one of us is lying.
Yeah, I wonder who it is.
I don't know. So I'm looking at it from the Steam point of view, where the Steam store is just full of trash. It's all early access. Whereas another way to look at it, VR is very small, so there's a lot of small developers.
Yep.
So it's good that they're able to sell an early access version of it to get extra funds to finish off the products.
Okay, counterpoint. Steam is full of trash whether or not it's early access or not. There's a lot of games that are like asset flips that aren't early access. You can buy them. They're garbage objectively. I feel like the same thing also exists on the Meta Horizon store anyway as well. There are games that you have recommended to me that I guess you saw a 30-second trailer for.
I apologize for recommending those games.
Was that on the App Lab or was that on the actual
that was
Meta
a real
store?
game.
Okay, well, that tells me that we are dealing with just reshuffling the same content around.
I guess at the very least, this will be a tab that says early access. So you will know it's early access. Also coming soon is the ability for developers to turn off the boundary if it's a mixed reality game. And you're kind of excited about this because you hate boundaries.
I do. I hate all the boundaries.
You hate it. You should probably respect some boundaries.
Respect some boundaries. I should. No, this is good because I often have to turn off the boundaries manually in the developer settings in the headset. So if a developer could turn that off on the game side, it means I don't have to do it.
So it's good for mixed reality games like Demeo, for example.
Yep.
So you don't need to set up your boundary every time because that can be pretty annoying.
It can be.
You are constantly having to set up your boundary.
Yep. I move rooms quite a lot. I'll be playing VR in one room and then I'll take it off and then move it somewhere else and stuff. And so, I'm constantly having to reset it up. Even when I do their point cloud share data nonsense thing that pops up, I was rejecting that every time because I thought it was like a privacy. I guess it's they've seen my room anyway, I guess. So it's what am I really saving? But I was holding off on doing that. And then I'm like, well, fuck it. I'll finally do it. And I'm still setting up just as many boundaries as I was before. Now I've just given them permission to have the data from that. So I thought it was going to fix it. It didn't.
But now, theoretically, a developer could just tell the game that it's a mixed reality, even though it's not.
Yeah.
And we could theoretically have games having a little toggle.
Yeah.
Just turning off boundaries altogether.
I just can't imagine that an official game is going to choose to do that when there's the possibility of someone hitting a wall or breaking a controller and then blaming the game, and then Meta goes, well, it wasn't our fault because it's all on the developer. We've given them the opportunity to do this.
That'd be good for fear challenge games like Nope or Richie's Plank Experience. Is that what it's called?
That's my favorite horror game. Yeah, Experience.
But you go extreme boundary mode. This could actually kill you.
Yeah, totally. Play it on the highway. If you go the wrong way, you're risking it. It's a whole deal.
Yeah, just play it on your roof or something.
Yeah.
Play it near stairs.
Oh boy, Definitely play it near stairs. That's what they actually tell you when you set up the Quest for the first time. Is definitely go next to some stairs. Make sure that you are next to a doorway.
Originally, when I had the Vive has the cord. When I was playing Onward, you have a knife. You can stab people. And the very first day I played it, my brain was like, "Oh, run towards them to stab them." And I did that and ran into my brick wall.
Oh.
But if I was facing this way instead, I would have ran onto a hip-high little barrier, and I would have flipped over it.
Oh.
And I would have hung myself with the Vive cable, and people would have thought I was doing erotic asphyxiation in the Vive, and that's how I would have died.
Slightly less erotic asphyxiation. Well, you won the game, obviously, right? Because you didn't fall down the stairs, you didn't fall over the thing.
I actually, like, day one of owning Onward, I cracked the camera on my Vive.
The pass-through thing.
Yeah. Is it that one? One
yes.
of them. Yeah, there
literally
it is.
here. Yeah. I didn't know he was going to tell this story. If you zoom in on this, it's got the crack.
Yeah,
That's
I
crazy.
cracked it. I ran into a brick wall.
Yeah, don't do that, kids. Or do that with this new update for the Meta Quest 3 Horizon 2.
Do you want to talk about Apple taking control?
Yeah, let's go.
So they have a new set of 6-DoF controllers coming out, and you're like, "Wow, Apple, what a great move!" Right?
I thought you were going to say that they're taking control of the market.
No,
no,
they're not taking control of the market.
I swear, this week we've got some controllers that's going to make the headset even better.
Well, Apple can't even brag about that because they're third-party controllers.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
well, hey, that's fine. What are they called?
Oh, that's a great question. Let's get them up here. So this is on all of the VR websites. I'll read it off Road to VR. Let's open it up.
All right.
So they say Apple Vision Pro doesn't have controllers, although that's not stopping third-party hardware creators from trying to bypass Apple. Enter Surreal Touch, a newly announced motion controller that aims to leverage Vision Pros. What do you think about Surreal Touch?
That's the name.
That's the name.
Oh my god. It doesn't sound like they're respecting boundaries with this Surreal Touch.
No, it doesn't at all. The Apple Vision Surreal Touch.
Ugh. Apple Vision Pro 2 Lite Surreal Touch Edition.
There's actually a pretty in-depth video here. Then they kind of look like Geordie LaForge's glasses mixed with the Enterprise, the controllers. They have like a visor out the front or something.
Translate that into Star Wars for me.
But they're shiny like a Magic Mouse. You know, the old ones that were white but clear plastic shiny kind of things?
I have one of those. It's not white anymore. It's real gross, but it's and I've lost the battery thing on the back. But yeah, but that's fine. So are there touchy bits on there? It's touch sensitive.
No, they're joysticks and 2 buttons. They're pretty similar to the Quest ones. I want 4 buttons on my controllers like an Xbox or PlayStation controller. Is that crazy of me to want?
4 buttons? Too much. Too much. No, too much.
I think we could fit it.
4 buttons. Where the
But
fuck
then
you
could play regular games like an Xbox or PlayStation game on your.
I will admit the button real estate is a problem with all VR controllers. Every time you want to rebind something, you're like really playing the tile game, trying to swap things in and out, making sure you've got everything bound.
Yeah.
I just turned off slow motion in Blade and Sorcery like in the first hour. It's like one of the most integral functions in the game, and I just completely unbound the button because I had no need for that and replaced it with jump or something.
So something that you wanted to use. You had to like decide.
That's right.
Maybe it's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah, maybe. Well, that game is customizable enough. It allows for it. But I've played VR games before where I've swapped out a button for the same reason. I'm like, oh boy, I can't reload.
Do you want to know how these actually work? Because I bet you're thinking Apple Vision Pro is a hand controller thing. How are these going to work with apps, right?
I was thinking that, yes.
Yeah, they won't. Surreal Interactive says it's currently developing a Vision Pro native streaming app which promises to let you play Steam VR games from your computer at 4K 120Hz.
We promise.
Yeah, so like you'll be able to play Steam games through your Apple Vision Pro using these controllers.
It's like a platform that's embarrassed to be a VR headset.
Yeah, a little bit. We're currently collaborating with several studios to port their games to AVP platform. Additionally, we have plans to reach out and to partner with more developers in the near future. So, like, they said they're working on a tool mode, which presumably could also allow basic UI selection when in the Vision Pro. So basically, they need to get interaction with particular apps for this to work. So early days, it's not going to work with everything. But the longer it's around, the more stuff it will work with, and hopefully it will encourage Apple to be like, maybe this should be an option.
Interesting. I like that between this and the PSVR 2, we're seeing these headsets that are made for dedicated platforms coming to, the combined PC platform. I want to see
Yeah,
like
it's basically like, why are they fighting? Why are they fighting it? Why is Apple so scared of like letting us play a game?
because you can't control your user base in the same
But also,
way.
like it's the Apple Vision Pro. It's for creative people. Controllers allow you to scale and pin and like press buttons. And like if I'm doing brushwork, like controllers are good for that stuff.
And it's a tested method of interaction as well. You think that they would kind of be going towards a more tried and tested version. However, we're already talking about the price point of this headset as something that's prohibitive. Like neither of us own one. I think that's probably because there's no Apple store in Melbourne. But it's also because it's like the headset itself is quite expensive. Can you imagine if the price tag of a first-party Apple controller was there as well? And you're like, oh, you want the controller? Well, for one controller, it's $399. If you want the two controllers, if you want the surreal experience...
Yeah, I can't imagine. If Apple sold a controller, it would be very expensive.
Totally. It would require a battery pack to run.
Yeah, you'd have 3 different batteries in all of your pockets.
Like a marionette puppet or something like that. There's all this stuff going on.
Then I would really autoerotic go.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, did you hear about this screenlit? Did you hear about this screenlit app? Did I break you?
It was just the contrast and the enthusiasm.
I'm so fried today.
That's fine. It's good. It's a window into the reality part of the GamesVRealityPod podcast.
Okay, I haven't had time to actually check this because I don't have a Vision Pro. But the Screenlit app is a Plex and Jellyfin Flynn. Can you say that word too?
App Lab apps.
Okay. Jellyfin client that converts 2D to 3D in real time. So this is a new app. It lets you stream 2D movies. And then it will turn them into 3D movies. So it'll look like a 3D movie when you're watching it.
Okay.
Have I explained that really poorly?
No, you haven't. Having jelly in the title really kind of distracts me for a bit. But I need to see what this looks like.
So the app is called Screenlit. Jellyfin and Plex are like cloud storing video services.
Oh, I know Plex. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so OP said, you can spend forever refining things, so I thought it was just time to release. You can try everything for 2 days, so please let me know. A few people have commented. They're like, whoa, in real time? How? And they're like, I don't know, AI probably. But one person said, I tested it, and it's awesome. They're listening to feedback and made huge improvements over a short development phase. Besides the really good real-time 3D feature, the environments you are sitting in are the best for enjoying videos, in my opinion. I'm sure that there is more to come. So yeah, someone else said, worked awesome on my Plex server, and it impressed the hell out of me with the real-time 3D during testing. Great work, and apologies, I couldn't find any bugs during testing. Definite buy for me. I love that they're apologizing that the program worked. Isn't that the state of 2024?
It's all very polite. I do like that. That sounds awesome, and I would like you, as someone that engages specifically in 3D movies on the Quest,
Apple Vision Pro.
As someone that engages specifically within this arena, you can test this and see if it looks better than Doctor Strange.
I am keen as mustard to try this. There is a few reasons why. One, it's really hard to get 3D games if you don't 3D movies if you don't have an Apple Vision Pro, because Disney Plus is the only place streaming 3D movies for people like us in Australia, but we don't have an Apple Vision Pro.
No.
It's the only way to stream it. So that's number one. Number two, if you were to sail the 7 seas, you'd probably only get like a 720p 3D, and it just is not good.
Totally.
If you want to get the proper Blu-ray rip, it's 40 gigabyte downloads, and I'm having trouble getting that onto my Quest to stream it. So all levels of this sounds great to me. I'm excited for this. I know it's still only for the Apple Vision Pro, but someone else is going to do this.
Totally. And thinking about it as well, I really wonder how many people are testing this and whether or not their barrier for quality is higher or lower based on their enthusiasm for the platform. I know that I am far more forgiving of VR when I'm playing it if there's bugs or if there's issues and stuff. I'm like, every time I encounter something, I go, well, I'm using something that is very complicated to set up and run. I guess I'll forgive it, and so I'm wondering if the people testing this application have a similar headspace.
Do you want to do a comment section?
I do.
Yeah, we haven't done this yet, but we actually have comments. So I figured let's read some comments.
Let's reward people that actually comment on our podcast that aren't me.
Yeah, if you're listening to this on Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast, we also post on YouTube, and you can comment and we will respond. Exactly. Or you could email us at...
GamesVReality.
No, not James. Not James. Poor James.
Poor James. GamesVRealityPod at gmail.com.
Yeah, that's right. All right, okay, I got a few comments. This is mostly about our story to do with cloud gaming possibly coming to the Quest platform. So somebody found a hidden feature that they weren't meant to find. Talking about Avalanche, which is their project to get cloud gaming working on the Quest. Okay, so Esco XO.
Is that a headset or the guy's name?
That's the person's name. They said they can keep their cloud gaming, you will own nothing, and be happy BS.
BS as in... Oh.
So what they're saying is this whole attitude of cloud gaming basically means you pay us money to use it as a service, but you don't get to own the games.
Oh, yes, yeah. And that's very valid because you're paying money for something that at the end of the day you're renting, right?
Yes, but the reason I think this is better than, say, Game Pass is, right, I can buy an Xbox game and play it, right?
Yeah.
But... with this, the idea is it's PCVR quality games on your Quest 3.
Yep.
And that is the service I'm interested in paying for.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd pay $20 a month to have a huge graphical increase. If it turns out that they don't look as good, and it's basically just Quest games on the cloud, that would suck.
Sure.
But if it's actually PCVR quality graphics, I think that's better, right?
I suppose at worst, this is just giving you more access in a different way. Like right now, if you own a PC, you can stream PC VR games to your headset, but if you don't happen to own that and you have the cash to maybe spend on a month of this kind of stuff, then if it gives you something that's on par with that, I think it's totally valid. Yeah.
Next comment comes from Zwenkai816.
He's making these up.
I don't know. Yeah, I think literally they're making these up.
Okay. I guess they are.
They say, I don't know about latency though. Like at first I thought even wireless streaming from your PC would be too much latency, but it's fine when it works. If it doesn't really work though, it's effing terrible. Like any hiccup or quality drop in VR is very noticeable. So in theory, this cloud streaming could work, but I think you'll need like perfect internet all the time and a meta cloud data center right near where you live. Like as usual, I think countries like Australia will get the short end of the stick and probably a lot of parts of the US as well.
Painfully correct. I'm not excited for that.
Yeah, you don't play a lot of multiplayer games on PC where they tell you the ping, but you do play I Throw Rocks at You VR.
I Throw Rocks at You VR. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes. And I wish they would, honestly...
What's that called?
It's called Rumble.
And you look at your ping, it's like 350.
Yeah, it's insane. Onward keeps the ping hidden because I'm sure if they showed it, it would be like, oh.
We would be kicked out of lobbies. We wouldn't be able to play.
Well, we already are kicked out of lobbies because of the latency.
Well, that's because you draw penises so much.
But they're such good penises.
Okay. But yeah, like Australia will probably be the last country to get, and New Zealand obviously will be the last.
Oh yeah, they get the sloppy seconds off us, and we've already got sloppy seconds.
Worse.
It's like the human centipede of sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
I want to know how close our nearest Meta Horizon distance server to Pro Light is.
The data center?
Data center, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
No.
Who knows? QWERTY Lesh says, awesome podcast, guys. So cool to see more Aussie VR nuts. They also went on to say, Fallen Order plays fine all the way through, FPS-wise. There are several crash points on specific map areas. You can play through the flat mode.
Yep.
Or you just replay until it works, basically. But that's kind of what you sign up for VR. If you're getting a 2D game and you're modding it to be VR, you basically know not everything's going to work all the time.
Expect the unexpected, even if you expect it. I'm glad that this person played the entire game through because I haven't had the opportunity to get to those sections that I said were.
When I didn't see the vision that you sent me before you said the cutscenes are terrible.
Oh, really?
And the vision overlaid, and you're literally a kilometer away, and you're looking around.
You nailed it like perfectly. I saw, what you put in, and you also noticed me looking for like the next point of progression.
Like, you're like, where is the
that wall? Isn't the one I can jump up? That one's not it. That one's not it.
Yeah.
Do
you want to talk about what I'm doing in VR and what you're doing in VR?
Sure, I get it. Wait, was that all the questions?
We're not that big a YouTube channel. There's not that many people
Ask
commenting. It'd be good if more people commented.
That's right. That would be fantastic. Please comment and subscribe.
All right. I haven't been doing much in VR because it's school holidays. I've been looking after relatives, which is great, and I'm really appreciative of the time I got to spend with them. But we got to play Demeo with 3 different headsets for the first time.
Oh, nice. How was that?
They had my Quest 3.
Yep.
I had my Quest 2.
Yep.
I don't know if this is an error and Demeo is going to find out about this, but I only have myself logged into both and it allowed us to play together.
That's cool.
So I didn't need to buy a second copy.
Nice.
And then I had someone else about a half-hour drive away, half-hour tram ride away, and they were playing Demeo, and so they were in voice chat, and we muted each other, so we could just talk to each other, but we could hear the voice chat, and it was fantastic. Big ups to Demeo. I love it. I wish I could do more Demeo. I wish there was more Demeo to do.
Yeah, totally. I wish there were more games that were like it as well. Even if they weren't in that format, I feel like just the way that you interact with the game itself is kind of... It's like a no-brainer when you see it. And that actually made me want to buy a Quest 3 as soon as I saw a trailer for Demeo. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Actual tabletop games that you're playing in a virtual space.
Yeah. You know, they say those who can't do, teach. But in your case, you're doing it anyway. That was a really clever segue. You're doing some developing in Unreal Engine.
Yes, that was so clever. It threw me for a loop. I'm learning.
I should write a note being like, I'm segueing now. And
It's a card. It's a segue card that you can only see on the video edition of this podcast. Yes, I'm developing in the Unreal Engine 5 for Meta XR.
You're developing for the Meta platform on Unreal Engine 5.
Correct.
In the past, you've sort of dabbled with Unity.
That's right.
So what's it like going from Unity to Unreal Engine?
Well, it's very different just in the fact that they're different engines, but now I'm using a whole different headset to interface with an engine as well. So last time I was developing, it was in Unity and I was using HTC Vive, and then maybe the Index after that. So I was reliant on my base stations and just getting everything set up through that. Now I'm just developing for the Quest 2. And I just pop that on, go straight into AirLink, and then I'm like ready to go. Pretty much, it's like an instant process. And so that, it just feels so much more streamlined because of those both of those facts.
How accessible is it for you?
Both times I've developed for VR, I'm jumping into like preset environments that give you access to hands, like things to pick up, and then like a gun to shoot. And typically, you use those things to build on and then create a game. The first time I worked in Unity, I was using the what was it, VRTK, VR Toolkit, and that seemed pretty simple at the time, but now working in Unreal, I found that things are like maybe more mature because VR has been around for a longer time, but I feel like just jumping into this, I had so much more I could immediately envision building. Even if I didn't have any development experience, I feel like people can just jump into this and know that it works and then just start building, and that's really cool. The Unreal Engine is more accessible as an engine as well. There's so many more tutorials now than there were a couple of years ago, and you can just start building games, VR games, and even augmented reality games really, really quickly, I think. So I highly recommend just jumping into it.
I personally hope that you have inspired someone to develop a VR game, because you told me there's a $500 asset of the house from The Shining.
Oh, yeah, totally. I just watched Dr. Sleep, right? And the movie was fine, right? But the Overlook Hotel looks so good. I want to just run around in an Alien Isolation-style game where Jack Nicholson is looking for me with an axe, and I have to find keys to get through different doors so I can escape.
For copyright reasons, it'll be Nick Jackelson.
Nick Jackelson, that's right, exactly. He's my favorite actor in all different things. In the Underlook Hotel for the shunning. The shunning VR. That's what this podcast is.
You were trying to find a word that means shining.
Yeah, that's right.
And you went with shunning.
Well, hey, you know, it's still in the same,
glowing.
It's in the genre. No, it's fine. It's because he's being shunned by his father, right?
Okay.
Right.
But if you know how to develop and you have a spare $500 US, could you please get the Overlook Hotel and make something that we can walk around?
Exactly. That would be fantastic, and we can review it on this podcast.
All right, I think that's everything we're gonna do for this. Should we end the show?
Like, I've only had a couple episodes. You want to end it now?
No, the episode. Let's end the episode.
Oh, yeah, I guess we could end
But
it.
You
here.
think we've done VR news? We can just end the show?
There's no more VR news because Apple took control, right? They've just ended VR.
Yeah, they took control.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
If someone wants to reach out to us, how can they do it?
They go to GamesVRealityPod@gmail.com.
That's right, or leave a comment on YouTube, because we post all these episodes on YouTube. If you notice me looking down here, or if it lingered on a shot of me for too long and I was just sort of zoned out, it's because we're recording this live now. I got the Stream Deck here so I can switch between cameras so I can look at you. And this is the first time we've done it, so I'm doing
totally.
it live.
Totally.
We're slowly progressing so we can do these as a live stream. I think that would be
great?
cool.
I think it would be
If you'd
great.
like to see this live streamed, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, please do. So yeah, you've been video switching on the go.
Yeah,
Frazzled.
So I what I did was I put you as that side and me as this side, so I know when you're talking and when I'm talking.
I see.
Yeah.
This is very complicated.
In theory, that should work. Yeah. Anyway, thank you. Goodbye. I'm gonna wave, and then you're gonna wave.
Goodbye.
You're not gonna wave.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Oh.
See ya.
Okay. All right. Bye.